right, folks, today we're here to talk about what to do when you have lobster, let's say shipped on like a Friday, and you're wanting to wait till maybe Sunday or Monday to have kind of a feast. So how do I preserve my live Maine lobsters while you're waiting and you don't want the lobster to spoil, right? The key is when you have them shipped from Maine, typically they're pretty good for 24 to 48 hours. But if you're going to wait any longer than that, you want to do a process called blanching. And that's just basically putting it in boiling water, which I may want to turn down just a little bit. You want to put them in boiling water for 2 minutes. Not any longer, just enough to kind of get the meat to loosen up. You don't want it to really cook, but be able to preserve it so that way you still have a really good taste come that Sunday or Monday when you're going to actually do your lobster boil. What I suggest is always having a cooler ready as well, and with about half ice, half water. And after you do your blanching, you want to put them in the ice for about 10 or 15 minutes. And then you want to kind of dry them out, make sure you get all the water out. Wrap them in like a kitchen cloth or newspapers, and then you can put them in the refrigerator for 2 to 3 days till you're ready to have your feast. So what I'm getting ready to do is I have 2 more lobsters that when they received the other day, when I had them shipped here, they came packed in ice, and I wanted to get them out of the ice. I basically put them in the back of my refrigerator where it's most cold, and then just laid down I just took grocery bags, the paper ones, laid them down, put the lobster in there, and then put some newspaper, some wet newspaper, just put it over the top to keep the moisture there. And that way, today I'm going to go ahead and blanch them, and then here tomorrow we're actually going to have our feast. So I'm getting ready to put 2 of the lobsters. I will take the rubber bands off of them because they have been pretty cold. They're not moving around a whole lot, but you definitely want to do the blanching before any of them die, because you don't want the bacteria to set in. So here we go. All right. A little feisty guy. All right. And then what'll happen, you notice they're kind of this brown color right now. So once you get them in water, that's when they'll actually turn their red. So normally they're kind of brown or a grayish area, but this is about a 2 1/4 pound lobster. And like I say, we'll usually put them head first into the boiling pot, 2 minutes, take them out, put them on ice, 10 to 15 minutes, let them dry, and then wrap them in a kitchen towel or newspapers, put them in your refrigerator for 2-3 days until you're ready to have the actual boil. And then you'll just go through the boil and cook them depending, check your website, it'll tell you, depending on the size of the lobster, how long you should actually cook them for. So here we go, head first. There's one. Now normally their tails will curl really good when you put them in, which tells you got fresh quality lobster. If the tails don't really curl, then that tells me that if you're at a restaurant or something, that could be an issue. So here goes the second one. And then I can't remember, like I said, when I was heating this up, I went ahead and I put, once again folks, sea salt. I put 1 tablespoon for every 2 quarts of water. And then, like I say, let them go for 2 minutes, which I'll set my timer. I have it going now. Have 1.5 minutes left. And then, like I say, once we get them pulled out, which I'll just stay with you for this one. Like I say, then you'll bring them over here to a cooler and just put them on ice for about 10 or 15 minutes to just cool them down. So all right, put it back here. Got about another little more than a minute to go. So I brought in 10 lobsters for our feast on Monday because of delivery issues that we've been seeing. I use Young's Lobster House out in Maine, and it's ocean to floor in 24 hours. So if you get your order in by 11 a.m., they usually have them on your doorstep by noon the next day. Just because of shipping, I wanted to make sure we had them here for Easter. So I brought them in Thursday. They shipped to the house on Friday. Today's Saturday. I don't want to risk the lobster dying before Sunday, so I'm doing this blanching process. So, okay, so maybe lost track of time a little bit, but it's been right at 2 minutes. So I'll go ahead. Like I said, I usually use this strainer pot. Makes it easier. You can pull them out, drain them pretty quick to get your next batch. I suggest doing about two lobsters at a time for best quality. And here's what the one looks like. So now I'm going to go ahead and put it on the ice. All right. So, okay. That one's on ice. Take the second one out. Here we go. And then put it on ice. Now I did 10 lobsters. I've already done 8 of them, so I have my last 2. So now I'll go ahead and take the bands off these last 2. Let them do their last stretches. Stretch and flex. Here we go. I ordered these. These were all about 2 1/4 to 2.5 pounds. So got pretty good claw meat. Got a nice little tail on them. So here we go. So head first. There's one. Come on. There's 2. I'll get that covered. Start my clock. 7:15, so 2 minutes. All right. Thanks, folks. That's all there is. Thank you.